I'm going to read to you Chapter 5 of the book, My Third Grade Teacher is a Witch by A.M. Brazil. We're wasting time. Hello, hotties. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Allie Mack, and I am currently a 7th grade math teacher. You know, while you're here, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from me, and you won't miss whenever I publish other chapters of this book that's really, really cute and good. So if you've not watched the previous videos where I've read chapters 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4, please check those out before you watch this because you might not know what's going on. So let's get into it now. Chapter 5, I Am Not a Crybaby. On Tuesday, Jalinthia's mom presented to our class. Her mom is a hairstylist. She discussed how she used math when she mixed the hair dyes she would put on her customers' hair. Jalinthia's mom also discussed how exchanging money is important to her daily life. She explained how figuring out what a customer pays her based on the service is an important part of her job. On Wednesday, Richard's father shared his experience as a mechanic. He explained that he had to measure parts of a car to make sure they fit correctly. He also explained that when performing oil changes, he had to make sure he measured the correct amount of oil. On Thursday, Mia's mom came to see us. Mia's mom stays at home. I was surprised to learn how much math goes into that. She cooked, which involved measurement. She cleaned, which involved making her own homemade cleaning supplies. She even demonstrated how to make her own laundry detergent. She gave my classmates and me a sample of laundry soap to use on our next load of clothes. On Friday, LaShawn and LaDerek's mom presented to the class. Their mom is an interior designer. She told us that she could not do her job without math. She explained how measurements play an active role in her career. She told us that when putting up wallpaper and painting rooms, the measurements needed to be exact. She also told us that when she decides which pieces of furniture to use, they have to be the correct size. She explained how symmetry and proportion played a huge role in her designs. LaShawn and LaDerek's mom even showed us pictures of rooms she had decorated. We were amazed. She is a talented lady. When we changed classes, Miss Goodman seemed happy to see us. Today she wore a navy suit and red jewelry. We had an assignment on the board. We were to copy the paragraph and fix any spelling or grammar issues. I hate these types of assignments. This is so boring. Miss Goodman sashayed around the room while making sure we were doing what we were supposed to. I heard Miss Goodman fuss at Jack for talking. I don't know how to do this, Jack shrieked. You can at least copy the paragraph and then try, Miss Goodman pleaded with Jack. You always need help. You don't even try, Frank snapped. Shut up, Frank, Jack snapped back. Make me, Frank shouted. Yeah, make him, LaShawn laughed. Boys, that is not necessary. Continue working, Miss Goodman intervened. The boys did as Miss Goodman said. I know they would not have done that if in Miss Opal's class. Miss Goodman had Greg go up to the board and correct the paragraph. She always lets Greg do everything. Today, we will be learning about appositive phrases. Does anyone know what an appositive phrase is? Miss Goodman asked while twirling her straight black hair. We just looked at her. Miss Goodman looked around the room to see if any of us would be brave enough to try to answer the question. She waited a few more seconds before she spoke. I do not understand a word she just said. Appositives? Modifiers? Is she speaking English? I raised my hand. Yes, Ashton, Miss Goodman called on me. I don't get it, I told her. Of course you don't, Frank mumbled under his breath with a smirk. Okay, let me be more specific. It is a group of words that attempts to restate or amplify the word that came before the phrase, Miss Goodman told me. Amplify? What is she talking about? She had me lost. Does that answer your question, Miss Goodman asked? Not really, I was honest. Miss Goodman appeared to be upset with me. I cannot help that I do not understand. My dad will kill me if I get a bad grade. Again, I heard Frank make a rude comment under his breath. I ignored him. I had problems with him last year. He was always trying to make me cry. I was not a crybaby anymore. I am a 3rd grader. Well, Ashton, let me continue with the lesson. If you still don't get it, then I will help you, Miss Goodman assured me. He will never get it, I heard Frank tell LaShawn. Shut up, Frank, I snapped at him. Ashton, you cannot blurt out like that. It is not nice to say shut up, Miss Goodman snapped at me. He started it, I exclaimed. I only heard you, Miss Goodman fussed. I decided to keep my mouth shut. Dad would kill me if I talked back to a teacher. I needed to try to ignore Frank and his big, ugly mouth face. Miss Goodman continued to explain what appositive phrases were. I still did not understand. She taught for maybe 5 minutes before she handed us a worksheet and told us to get busy. I still did not know what a stupid appositive phrase is. I know a phrase is a sentence or part of a sentence. What is the appositive part mean? Is it a happy sentence? Being positive means happy? That has got to be it. I will circle the words in the sentence that means happy. Miss Goodman instructed us to work quietly as she plopped at her desk. She was busy grading papers as the rest of us worked. Well, while most of us worked. Richard was making poppers out of notebook paper. Jalenthia was writing a love note to Alex. Lacey was drawing flowers on her worksheet, and Michael fell asleep. I got busy trying to find as many words and phrases that meant happy things. I was on question 3 when I felt something hit me in the back of the head. I looked on the floor, and it was a piece of an eraser. I looked to see who threw it, and Frank had a smirk on his face. I gave him the meanest look I could before I continued working on my assignment. I felt something in my head again. It was another piece of an eraser. Again, I gave him a nasty look. Ashton, get to work. Quit looking behind you. Pay attention to your work, Miss Goodman fussed. He is throwing erasers at me, I defended. No, I didn't, Frank shouted. Yes, you did, I shouted back. Boys, stop. I did not see him throw anything, Ashton. I see you looking behind you. Get to work, she growled. Why doesn't she believe me? Why doesn't she do something? Miss Goodman is up there grading papers. I'm supposed to be working and I cannot concentrate. Once again, I feel something hit my neck. I am so mad I cannot even stand it. Miss Goodman, can I finish my work in the hall? I asked. Why? Miss Goodman wondered. I cannot concentrate, I told her. Miss Goodman looked super annoyed at me now. I know she is mad because I keep interrupting her. She thought for a minute and told me to go ahead and finish my work in the hallway. I gave Frank one more of my mean looks and darted out to the hall. I closed the door behind me and sat by the wall. I put my work on the floor and did my best to complete my assignment. Question 6 did not have any happy phrases. Now what? Maybe I am doing this worksheet all wrong. I erased everything I could. I feel tears swelling up inside me. The tears are about to explode out of my eye sockets like a rocket. How much longer can I hold them back? I hear footsteps. Who is that walking down the light blue hallway? It is Matilda. She is not walking, but skipping. What is she doing out of class? She walks right up to me and has a seat. I cannot help but notice that a green bow the size of a satellite was clipped in her long red hair.
Are you in trouble?
Matilda asked. No, I tell her.
Why are you out in the hallway then?
Matilda said as she felt the spikes on my blonde mohawk. So cute. I could not concentrate. This stupid kid kept throwing things at the back of my head, I told her.
Oh, I see. What are you working on?
She asked. Appositive phrases, I answered.
You're doing these all wrong.
Matilda was blunt. How do you do them then, smarty pants? I was annoyed at this point.
What do the directions say?
She asked. Circle the appositive phrases, I tell her.
Read question 1 to me.
She ordered. The bird, an eagle, soared peacefully above the trees, I read.
You circled peacefully. We're not looking for adverbs here. We're looking for appositive phrases.
Matilda is snooty in her tone. I don't know what that means.
An appositive is a noun or noun phrase that renames the noun right beside it. See, in this sentence you see bird, and in between the commas we see the words an eagle. An eagle is the appositive phrase since it gives you more details about what kind of birds they are talking about.
Matilda told me. That kind of makes sense, I said while circling an eagle on my paper.
Okay, read question 2.
Matilda demanded. Shelley, a singer, enjoys gospel songs, I read.
You circled enjoys. What should you have circled?
I should have circled a singer since that gives me more information about Shelley.
Not bad, Spike. Read the next question.
My name is Ashton.
Read the next question, Ashton.
Come over to my house to meet Flora, my baby sister.
Which is the appositive phrase?
That would be my baby sister. I think I got it now.
I think you do.
Matilda spoke as she hopped to her feet. Thanks, Matilda.
Anytime,
she said with a smile and continued to skip down the hall. I finished my classwork and I went back into the classroom. Miss Goodman was still grading papers at her desk. I marched to her desk and handed her my worksheet. She glanced over my paper and she smiled at me. See, I knew you would get it if you just let me finish my lesson. Miss Goodman seemed pleased with herself. No thanks to you, you did not explain anything. A 4th grader explained appositive phrases better than you did. I am so glad my thoughts are my own. I would be ashamed if Miss Goodman knew what I was thinking. I returned to my seat. I will make sure to sit somewhere. Frank cannot throw stuff at me tomorrow. Miss Goodman collected the papers and wrote our homework assignment on the board. I started to work on that. It was more positive phrases. I was done quickly. All right, it is time to go to lunch, Miss Goodman told us. We all raced to be the first in line. Kids were pushing and shoving each other. And Jamila was knocked down. Jalinthia and Maggie helped her to her feet. What is going on here? Miss Goodman snapped. He pushed me, Jamila pointed to Demario. He pushed me, Demario pointed to Richard. Why does it matter who is the first in line? We're all going to the same place. I do not want to see this ever again. Miss Goodman looked flushed. On the way to lunch, Frank was behind me in line. He kept stepping on the back of my shoe. I tried to ignore it. He is not worth getting in trouble. Right before we reached the cafeteria, Frank stepped on the back of my shoe and pushed me. I fell to the sidewalk, scraped my hands. I jumped to my feet quickly. What is your problem? I screamed in Frank's face. Ashton, what is your problem? Miss Goodman screamed. He pushed me down. I did not see him. I saw you. You never see him, I mumbled. One more outburst from you, Ashton, and I will send you to the office, Miss Goodman threatened. I put my head down. There were those tears again, trying to force their way out. I would not let them. I'm a third grader. I am not a crybaby anymore. Okay, so that was chapter 5. Chapter 6 will be read in a later video, and it's called Mr. Bailey's Office, which makes me think maybe he got in trouble, and we'll see what happens. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed chapter 5 of My Third Grade Teacher is a Witch, written by A.M. Brazil. Comment below the witch emoji, please, pretty please, with sugar on top and a cherry. Okay, not making that face again. So that's it for this video. That's all I got for you today, and I hope you have the best day ever, and I'll see you in my next video. Please like, share, and subscribe, by the way. I need more subscribers. I have 502 on the date that this is published, and it would just be nice. It makes me feel better about the world, and it's one thing that I do that's a hobby, and I do it for myself, not really for the subscribers, but it is kind of fun to see that number go up, so please subscribe. Anyway, y'all have the best day ever, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.